we can look at it from a positive perspective, which I would love to do, is look at the positive spin on it. But at the same time, we're not disregarding your feelings. It's okay to really be in a lot of pain when you're going through this breakup. And I'm so sorry if any of you right now are going through that. We're sending you a hug. But the more that I think, the more aware and conscious that I've become, particularly in the last few years, I was just thinking just then, I'm starting to look at relationships in a similar way to like emotions. And as Jing was just saying, it's energy transfer when we're in a relationship with someone. And a lot of our relationships, literally pretty much all except one of our relationships, will be passing through us, just like emotions pass through us. And I think the biggest, let's say, difficulty and struggle that we have with relationships is this is similar to our relationship with any change in life, is that we want things to stay the same. It's like the human condition is this clinging to the idea that things stay the same. And that, if something comes along, like when we were talking about love and relationships, someone comes along, initially you go through the honeymoon stage, you feel wonderful, they make me happy. I'll get to that in a second. We're all saying they make me so happy. We post it on Facebook. Okay, I will get to that.
I remember we spoke about this in our earlier episodes, right?
Yeah, and we cling to that person because they represent happiness, and we want to feel happy forever. Emotions, we can't feel the same emotion forever. I'm sorry. So we cling. We want this to stay. We want this to stay so good forever. In doing that, we're preventing the relationship from even growing. Literally, the relationship that will be your soulmate or life partner or whatever, the one that works will be the one that you are allowing yourselves to grow together and change together. And you've made that commitment that whatever happens with either of you in your lives and your personal lives and yourselves, you're going to go through that together and change together. But the idea of clinging to this relationship staying the same is usually what's creating our suffering. And particularly when it ends, it's like, no, because I want this to stay forever. And this is probably where most people are suffering when it comes to relationships and breakups. What usually happens in a breakup, or even if we look at the reasons for breaking up, almost like 100% of the time, whatever led up, whatever circumstances, the details of it usually was, you're responsible for my happiness. Now you don't make me happy, so we need a breakup. This is like, usually, the breakup is usually resulting from some, let's say, some variation of this template, which is that, you didn't make me happy, so I went to find it with someone else who makes me happy, or, we don't get on anymore, there's too much conflict, I'm not feeling those good feelings that I felt at the beginning, you're not making me feel good anymore, so we have to break up. So even looking at the reasons for breaking up in a conscious way, so saying that you were responsible for my happiness, you don't make me happy, so it's your fault, we need to break up, is an unconscious process that we're going through mentally. So the first step really in dealing with a breakup is actually coming back to that and starting to look at that consciously, is that person was never responsible for your happiness. And because, again, we've been through this before when we did emotional responsibility. Let's just look at it again very, very quickly. If you're with someone and you're going through a tough time right now and you're thinking about maybe breaking up, and you can look inside and be as honest as you can with yourself and realize that what you're saying is that this person doesn't make me happy, they should make me happy. If they don't make me happy, I break up. If you're giving someone the power to make you happy, you're also giving them the power to make you unhappy. You want to give them that power?
I love that.
We've been through this. If someone has the power to make you happy, they also have the power to make you unhappy because you're dependent on them emotionally. So whatever is going on in your relationship right now, your breakup, we first need to just clear that up and be honest and admit this person was never responsible for your happiness. They're also not responsible for your unhappiness. So this breakup is not responsible for your unhappiness. here's all my pain, right? Oh, this person broke my heart, and oh, now I feel unworthy, and I'm all alone, and I don't feel good, and I don't like it. And then it's like, oh, there's another person, they can take this away, they can make this better, right? And then what happens? Then we're going to end up with this shit again at the end of this relationship, and they hurt me. Why does everyone leave me? Right? And it just goes over and over again. Now, the other thing that I was noticing, so we need to first acknowledge that we need to stop doing this and be like, okay, these are my feelings, okay? I'm going to wallow in them, I'm going to feel them, and then I'm going to let them go. And they have got nothing to do with your ex or any of your exes or any of your future partners. Start taking emotional responsibility. We probably should link that video in here so we can just move on from that.
Yeah.
Number one, we need to let go of knowing why did this person break up with me? Why? I need to know. Why do you need to know 100%, like laid out in front of you, the blueprint of what went wrong, what happened, why did they break up with me? Well, if we look at that, because if I look at the times where I've done that, and I need to know what they were thinking and feeling 100%, why do I need to know that? Because I need to know really what would make me feel better in that moment. Because I remember talking about this before. The most honest breakup I had when I was like 12 was someone just saying, I don't like you. I mean, I don't find you attractive anymore. I don't fancy you, is how you said it anymore. But did I actually want to know that? No, of course not. That didn't make me feel better knowing the brutal truth. What we want to know, what would feel good in that situation? Well, ideally, why did this person break up with me and break my heart? Well, if we're honest, we want to know that they had some sort of stroke or aneurysm and went completely nuts. And it's got nothing to do with my self-worth whatsoever. If we're honest with ourselves, we want to find out that it's not us, that it's nothing to do with us or our self-worth. Right. And that it's all them. And they're just, so we can play the victim game and be like, they're just a bastard, and then we feel better, you know, we get that validation because I'm a victim of this terrible person and they're bad and I'm good, and do all that. That, if we're honest with ourselves, that's like what we truly want to find out from this breakup. But accept that it never was anything to do with you in the first place. It never had any, what's the word? It had no signification to your self-worth at all. It's nothing to do with you. It's all about what they do, their actions, behaviors, and feelings is theirs. Your actions, behavior, and feelings is yours. So we just need to accept that. You might get an honest answer as to why, but even if you did, it probably wouldn't make you feel better. And just let it go. As much as we're talking about, acknowledge your feelings. Yeah, it sucks. Feel your pain. You know, take care of yourself in the breakup. It's very easy. There's also another possibility where you can get over it instantly when you realize, when you change your perspective on the relationship. Because if I look back on any of my previous relationships now, particularly the last few years when my self-growth has been just phenomenally, like, exponentially going up, it's like, wow, boy, did I learn so much about myself with this person. That was a painful relationship. That person triggered the hell out of me. But wow, did I grow inside, and weren't there some beautiful moments that we shared, and just be able to look at it like it is as it is. It was part of my journey. I grew with this person. I've evolved past them now, and we separate and we go our separate ways. Because in any moment that you're feeling shitty about your relationship and ending, it's always possible just to ask ourselves, is it possible that this could be good for me? This breakup could be the best thing that ever happened to me. Is it possible? If you've truly asked yourself that in the moment, is it possible that someone even better can come along? That I can grow more, that I can find even, like, let's say that maybe I just find myself more than ever, and I figure out my purpose in life, and I move house, and I get my dream job and my dream life and my dream family, you know.
And pray love trip.
Exactly. We don't know that it's not a good thing that this breakup has happened. And by looking at it from that perspective, you can instantly just shift your perspective. Yeah, it still sucks, but you can move on instantly. This is the thing. And it's like, when we start dating, I think if we look back at the first time, maybe when we're in our teens, or I think I was 10 when I had my first proper boyfriend. I'm not even joking. I started really young, and we suddenly get excited about it because there's someone who can make me feel better than I feel about myself, right? There's someone who can potentially, distract me from all of the difficult feelings and all of that and make me feel good. We cling to that and we kind of take it from relationship to relationship. And just as like Jane was saying that, it's never about you. We have this feeling of like, if I could just get all of the people in the world to like me, love me, think that I'm worthy of staying with forever, then I am worthy and enough, and I deserve someone to stay with me forever. And it's like, well, no, you don't need everyone to validate you. You're gonna end up with, if you do, one person, and that's it. You don't need all these exes to suddenly, because we want to go back through all of the relationships and smooth them over and realize that it wasn't me, it was them, and have that like tidy bow wrapped around it, and then it's done. But no, we don't need any of that. If you end up with you're just going to end up with one person. And I just need to say this because I mentioned at the beginning. You're not going to end up with one person who makes you feel good all the time. You're not going to end up with one person who makes you feel that same sense of love and bliss and joy and validation that you feel in the first 3 months, the trial period. You're not. If you end up with someone, you're going to end up with someone that still triggers you. Because any relationship, if I look back, particularly my like second to last relationship, my God, he literally was the biggest critic of me, and he puts so many of my flaws plain sight, because a relationship is like a mirror, right? And this was a brutally honest mirror, but I grew so much from that person. So you're not going to meet someone who doesn't. Yeah, and we're now really good friends actually, because of the level of honesty was there. You're going to meet someone, if your life partner is going to be someone that triggers you still, but that you can grow together and learn together and evolve together. Because any of your exes, it was simply like kind of a collision, a momentarily scientific collision between particles. That was it. There was an energetic interaction. It was, it was what it was. It might have been lovely and also painful. And then you separated. And like there were times where you were aligned and now you're not aligned. And that's literally, when you're looking back for the reason for the breakup and trying to analyze it, it's simply that there was a time where your journeys were aligned, and now they are not aligned. It's not you, it's not them, it's not, the third party if they cheated. It's just simply that. And then move on. And you'll find that person who you travel along your journey together because your paths are aligned. So it doesn't have to take any time at all. If we can just look at it as we're not aligned anymore, it's nothing about me, it's nothing about them. It possibly and most likely is a good thing because it opens me up to new experiences, and then you can get over it straight away. But maybe I like to do things in threes. If I'm going to give you 3 tips for getting through a breakup right now, number 1, take care of yourself, because they're tough. Yeah, very painful when you open your heart like that to someone and we got hurt. Yeah, sure, it's painful. Take care of yourself. Number 2, try and see the positives of the situation. Like Jane's report, what did you learn about yourself while you were with them? Think of the good times. Yeah, it was painful, but there were also great moments. And thirdly, it's not about you, it's not about them. It's simply not aligned anymore. You're just evolving apart. That's all it is. Right? You had your time that it was together, you shared something energetically, it was beautiful, and now you're evolving apart and trying to find that peace in it. Remember that you are strong. Like, please, no matter how much it sucks right now, no matter how much you're hurting, you're strong. Look back on your life, you've got evidence. No matter how much it sucked, you survived it. You got through every single breakup in the past, you got through all your heartbreaks in the past. And as much as they sucked at the time, did they pass? Yes. Did you get through it? Yes, and you will get through this one as well.